everyone, this is Kerjims channel. Now we are to the next episode of Similarity Champions and Comparison, presented by Wild Rift League of Legend versus the Mobile Legend Bang Bang. But before that, please like and subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click the bell running up so you will be notified for the next episode video.
Senna's the first marksman designed for support, wielding light and shadow, compassion and pain. Are you afraid of the dark? Senna's passive, Absolution, allows her to collect black mist to increase her attack damage, attack range, and crit chance over time. The more you collect, the further you scale, so gather mist to unleash the full extent of your arsenal. Hit an opponent twice to grab a stack of black mist. Fallen enemies will also drop a soul, which Senna can attack to pick up mist. She's learned a thing or two from her former Chain Warden. Senna's Q mirrors Lucian's Piercing Light. With Piercing Darkness, she'll fire a beam that heals herself and allies, and hurts foes. The more you attack, the faster it cools down. Senna can target anything to cast the shot. Drop a ward to hit enemies that are invisible, or out of range.
Handle.
Senna's W is Last Embrace, a shot that deals damage to the first target, then roots them and surrounding enemies after a brief delay. Getting a kill activates the root effect immediately. Got him!
Let's establish some boundaries.
Senna's E is Curse of the Black Mist, a team camouflage that disguises her and any allies who touch it. From the enemy's point of view, she and her allies disappear while inside the mist. When her teammates emerge, they turn into unclickable wraiths. Which champion is which? It's a mystery. Attacking breaks the camouflage. Senna's Shroud will return, but her allies lose their ghoulish form once they attack or cast a spell, which might be a missed opportunity. While Senna is in her Shroud, she can still be hit by skill shots, but they won't reveal her. If someone ganks your lane, you can use the mist to stage creative getaways. There's also a speed boost, so run like the mist. Senna's ultimate, Dawning Shadow, shields her allies and damages foes. Enemies caught in the middle take tons of damage, while the entire blast gives her teammates tons of shielding. This lightning-fast missile can span the entire map. With the right timing, she can end, or extend, a fight from any lane. Bye-bye! In lane, Senna should harass her opponents with her long-ranged attacks. Her goal is to gather mist, which means wearing down enemies and using her abilities whenever she can. But look out, her spells work best from behind her teammates. If she starts in front, there's no one to heal, and often nowhere to run. Senna's team strategy is to group, hide, and surprise. Play peekaboo with her Shroud and catch your opponents off guard. Maybe some misdirection for good measure. Senna can take advantage of her long range to deliver utility from a safe distance. Protect your friends or pick up your foes. Or both. If you want to assist your team with the damage and distance of a marksman, Senna's your girl. Out of the lantern for good, she brings the dark power of the Shadow Wilds into the light.
So, as always with all of these reactions, we wouldn't be able to do this without skin spotlights. And because I already hate myself for using their content, here's a little recreation of my appreciation using modern technology. But now finally, without further ado, let's have a look at the interactions of Senna.
You've been kinda distant since you came out of that land. Something you ain't telling me?
Yeah, I met someone in there. He's a ghoul. We fell in love and made ghoul babies.
Oh, haha.
Little word of warning, there's gonna be a lot of these interactions with Lucian where there's not really a point to it, it's just a little bit of flavor, I would say.
How do you feel about that? Isn't it heavy?
Not if you know what you're doing.
Because I tried to.
See here, I'm not entirely sure if this is a phallic joke. I would say so, because looking at the past, there already were some phallic jokes in the stories of Lucian and Senna, before Senna was even announced, before we knew that Senna was even a champion. So I'm not entirely sure what this is. But if it is a phallic joke, well played.
Try to keep up.
Try to be less beautiful.
I can turn into a screaming cloud.
Right.
Oh, as I said, there will be a lot of these kind of flavorful interactions without really much of a point.
Life from death.
Getting used to it. Thanks.
I was aiming at them.
Also, this is I don't know if you guys noticed this in the cinematic of Senna, but in the cinematic, when Senna appeared from the mist, she whipped out her gun and she shot at Lucian, right? And there was supposed to be this moment where it looked like Senna is betraying Lucian and she's trying to kill him, but of course, because her gun kinda heals the allies and hurts the enemy, when she's shooting someone, it really depends on which side they are, you know, and that will determine whether it's gonna damage them or heal them. So, when she says here that she was aiming at them, she can shoot through Lucian and she can damage the enemy on the other side. So, there will be a lot of references to this throughout all the quotes. I just wanna let you know that's how she works. Some of you have not probably seen what Senna can do on PvE. If that's the case, don't worry, her abilities are kinda normal, apart from that giant cannon. But, you know, that's how Riot works these days. Simply said, there's always some eye candy on new champions.
So what was it like, all that time in the lantern?
A nightmare. A lot of darkness. Food was great though.
Really?
No.
See, the voice actor is good. The voice actor of Senna is good because she is definitely believable. Like, I would believe that that character actually exists. Those interactions are kind of like, you know, why?
You're quiet.
What's to say? You're still cursed.
Keep that up and I'll curse you.
I mean, they're good.
So how's this gonna work?
Well, reckon I shoot something twice, and then you shoot it a third time.
Worked so far.
See, that's a reference to them having 3 guns. The interactions are fine, but, you know, I'm used to stuff like Swain and Monetize, where every quote is a direct reference to lore and it actually pushes our knowledge further. Here, that's not gonna be the case that much. There are a couple of things, and I'll point them out, but they are really not on the level of someone like Mordekaiser, who really was pushing our lore knowledge with every quote.
When the mist came to my island, Demasia's gates were closed. Will they be open when you need help?
See, okay, here is a lore quote. So, Senna is from an island, from a Demasian island, or an island related to Demacia, I should say. But when the mist attacked that island, Demacia was kinda, you know, they were minding their own business. So, here she's kinda setting up the question, what would happen if the mist went for Demacia itself? Would they open their gates for allies to help them? Now, funny quote from the book. In the book, it is written that as Demacia is kind of focusing more on Petricide and more on keeping mages away, all the allies that Demacia suddenly had are not really willing to help them anymore. So even though Demacia is more secure against mages and future rune wars, they don't really have allies anymore. So even if Demacia is in trouble and they open their gates, no one will probably help them, and I wonder if Senna is referring to that.
Another nightmare. Fine. I could use the target practice while I sleep.
See, this is a interaction directly with Fiddlesticks. I wonder if this is written with the rework already in mind, because I would say so. I say that the Fiddlesticks was already being remade as they were writing the lines for Senna. I don't think there are any references for the rework itself, but maybe we can be proven wrong as the reworked Fiddlesticks gets released.
Horsey! What? I
can like horses. I can like things.
And another one of those like, yeah, it's fine.
Running shouldn't be part of your plan, Kaisa. Survive the fight, not the fear.
Okay, see, alright. That quote was cool, if I can go back by my frame, if it works. That quote was cool because Kaisa was in a similar place to Senna. But as Senna was fighting ghosts from the Shadow Wilds, or the souls, Kaisa was fighting in the realm of the void, or like a sub-level of void. She wasn't really in the void, but she was fighting Voidborn there. So these two characters are actually very close to each other when it comes to what they do and why they do so.
Survive the fight, not the fear.
Only Kaisa was really trying to survive and to run away, which Senna did as well at the beginning, and she will have a reference to it as well. But Senna then turned around and she just started fighting, and Kaisa kind of did the same, like ever since she kind of got Void as being part of her, but she's still on the run technically.
You saved me, Lucian. We saved each other. Lucian has a way of breaking down my walls.
Notice, she will also talk a lot about walls, which obviously is a reference to Thresh's walls, or later there will be reference to that, but I'm not really sure what further point there is to the walls.
In darkness, we find ourselves.
Here is an interesting thing. See, every time there is an interaction, it is marked as either a specific champion or kind of a champion. Here, there is Lunari. Now, interesting fact, Diana is the only Lunari we have, because even someone like Zoe isn't technically Lunari. She was a member of that order in her life, I believe, unless I'm wrong. I don't think I am. But now she's not tagged as Lunari. She's a separate celestial kind of aspect, kind of a thing. So seeing Lunari there instantly brought my attention back to the roadmap. And during the roadmap, if you've seen our last video, you know that there was a teaser for a Lunari champion. This is interesting because I believe that skin spotlights are actually taking the interactions from the code itself. So that they look at the code and they see what triggers the interaction. So either it is a champion, it's killing a specific champion, or it is a tag. And tags can be anything from Freljordians, Demacians, Targonians, any region. But here, we have a specific kind of Targonian. We have the Lunari. However, besides Diana, we don't have other Lunari in the game. So, I wonder if this interaction is taken directly from the code, and if this is a setup for the future Lunari champion. Because why else would there be written Lunari and not Diana?
Hi, it's me. The one you've been ruthlessly hunting your whole damn life.
See, alright. Here I'll play all the Shadow Isles champion interactions because, you know, they are semi-interesting, but note that Monetize, while being from the Shadow Isles, as in that's where he's kind of bound right now, that's not really where he is. He's still in like his own Midnaraknun, I believe is the name of the realm. That's his death realm. He has influence on the magic of the Shadow Isles, but Mordekaiser himself isn't really a Shadow Isles champion. So even though you have these interactions with Shadow Isles champions, they don't really fit Mordekaiser's character. Because Mordekaiser doesn't care about individuals, he would just turn them into bricks and make them into a castle. And he's all about world domination. So as we go through these quotes, notice that they don't really fit Mordekaiser. But if you imagine someone like Kerjims or Thresh there, suddenly they all make sense.
That's one alive. Bad habit. Have I suffered enough yet? Or do you need me to be a corpse? I could free you, but those you've made suffer come first.
Mordekaiser wouldn't even care about being freed, that was my point.
Lucian may think you're the enemy, but to me, Thresh, you're only in the way.
See, that's actually a super cool thing in the story right now, because Thresh doesn't even care about Senna and Lucian. He's just having fun tormenting him, but you know, since Senna is gone now, Thresh doesn't care. Why would he care? He has so many other souls. To Thresh, Senna was just another soul. And I believe that Senna is looking at Thresh the exact same way.
Thane, you can aim for my heart when you find your own.
Of course, that's a reference to the fact that, Vayne is really a cold-hearted killer. Like, she is a true Demacian, let's just say that. She doesn't care what's happening with magic or black magic or shamanism, everyone's dead to her.
If you've got a problem with me, make it 2. 1 for each barrel.
We can probably just skip through these. These are gonna be random encounters with any champions at all. Also, if you see a fly randomly fly around the camera, that's because I have flies in the room. I can't get rid of them. Help.
The mist knows my name. It howled at his ears. But it was only asking for help.
See, this is one of the clever interactions because some people may think that there is something more to the mist, where the mist is actually seeking help. That's not really the case here. I believe that what she's referring to is the fact that when Senna was taken by the mist, or by Thresh, and she was kinda lingering in the mist,